Well, it's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I will say this: we are very likely going to have to refigure out basically where we are in the case, because I think, well, from there it's the investigation, but I think we were getting close to the end of the investigation day and close to the beginning of the next trial, and I think I recall that we were suspicious of the statue guy.
The statue teacher.
Yeah. Having pretty much everything we can. By the way, did Prosecutor Blackwell happen to tell you anything about tomorrow's trial? In justice we trust, it's no use trying to prime that the clock had been 1 hour fast, means we're back to square one concerning the suspect's action that day. Well, I remember we had the picture of that backdrop floating up, so we know that it was taken at 6. I wonder what the main argument will be about now. How the body was moved would be my guess. Prosecutor Blackwell's got his own plans. Oh, does he now? Detective Fulbright. Try as you might, I won't say another word about the investigation. No, I wasn't going to ask about that. I was just wondering if you've seen Robin. Oh, you mean Miss Robin Newman? She was just here a moment ago. And she mumbled something about watching videos in the lecture hall. Video? What video? Thanks, Detective. At the end, I think we should stop by the lecture hall. Right, let's go. There she is, Robin. Hey, Robin. Oh, Athena, Apollo. What are you watching there? Heh. It just so happens to be a video of the mock trial. I had to use a bit of coercion to get it, but the end justifies the means, right? There it is again. Professor Mean sure has a lot of influence around here. Care to look into the true connection between the murder and the mock trial with me? Sounds great, but do you mind if we ask you some questions
Yeah,
first?
why do you have a Cinderella slipper? Except for that.
Sure, I'll tell you anything you W-A-N-T. Alright. First, why did you confess the day of the crime now that the secret's out? What would you like to hear about first?
Why did you confess?
About your confession today. Why'd you do it? Because Juniper hasn't done anything wrong. I had to stop the trial by any means possible. Right. The end justifies the means. So you're a follower of Professor Means, too? Professor Means is a wonderful teacher, as was Professor Court. I like them B-O-T-H. She brushed that one off like a pro. And with that style of justice, you run the risk of breaking the law. Well, I'm prepared to quit school because of this case. Well, what? Why? I want to be an artist. That's what I really want, man. But no, my parents forced me to study to become a prosecutor. But if the trial went south, you'd have to drop out and give up on being a prosecutor. That's what you were really after, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Talk about someone who literally changes at the bat of an eyelash. I guess she's been dealing with her own problems, too. That totally makes sense. Yeah, I suppose so, but that doesn't make what she did right. Day of the crime. Let's stick with the crime for now. Could you tell us about what you were doing on the night of the murder? Finishing a statue. I was on the stage until the last bell. That's right, you made the statues of Mr. Wright and Professor Gavin, didn't you? Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes, I did. Both of them. This is just a formality, but can you prove you were making the statues at the time? Can I prove it? You think I'm the killer now? No, that's not what I meant. Both Hugh and Robin were still at school after 7 p.m., but neither of them can prove exactly what they were doing. Could one of them really have murdered Professor Court? Wonder why they're not giving that up. Have there been any problems now that everyone here knows you're a girl? Heh, no worries there. I discussed the matter with Professor Court some time ago. I told her I wanted to let everyone know I was really a girl. And just today, I love here at school. I don't have to hide the fact that I love girly... Okay. Oh, darn it. Anyway, thank you again, Athena. Thank you for revealing who I really am. I wanted everyone to know before the snitch found out.
Oh, your last name is New Man.
Oh,
Like she's newly a
well, she was new. Okay. The snitch sounds like a new lead. There's a rumor going around that one of the students here is a snitch. I hear they're watching everything we do, our activities, our relationships, our interests, and reporting it all to one of the professors.
girl.
But why would anyone do that? Yeah, I could see it being
She
the girl.
works for me. That would be really bad.
Officially, I heard it's to seek out misconduct among the student body. The rumor has it grades were being bought and sold through the surveillance network. That's bribery! The situation at Themis Legal Academy is worse than I thought. While all of this is important stuff, I still want to ask about that thing in the art room. I'll have to present some evidence to show what I'm talking about, though. Let's see.
What was the thing in the art room?
Was it...
Not that.
So all this stuff was outside, I think, right? Yeah. So let's see... Is it the voice print? Yay, a present from Athena. Ooh, this is so exciting. I'm sorry, but it's not a present. I wanted to know whether you knew anything about it. That's not nice, Athena. Why are you so cranky today? Okay, so maybe it's this? Aw, man, that's my blood, sweat, and tears in a pile of rubble right there. Why not make the statues again? I'm sure the two of them would be delighted. Yeah, I could totally do that. And this time, I want to make them even more realistic by making full-body molds of my models. Full-body molds? Are you sure that's safe? How about plain old measurements? Oh, Athena, measurements are for wimps. Full-on YOLO is what arts are all about. I'm gonna drop both of them in a big pool of plaster, yeah! I know I should stop you, but some part of me really wants to see how this plays out.
It's not so real. It's not really-
Yeah. Let's see. That thing in the room.
Didn't you just answer, or you have more than one thing to show?
Was it this? Well, she kind of answered, but I don't think it was what moves the story, yeah. Can't be the burned fragment. Well, that wasn't found in the art room. Let's see.
I don't remember. Was it that?
Well, that was discovered on stage. Maybe this? Robin, I just remembered something I wanted to ask you. This photo shows a piece of art on the table. Yeah, that weird thing. Do you know what it is? Well, whoa! Look at that unique artistic sense. That has to be one of Professor Quart's creations, man. Professor Quart's artistic sense.
That's like a broken
whoops.
justice system put together.
Yeah. Like, really broken. I actually did want you to confess, because I thought we were right on the new thing that popped up. Okay. Professor Quart's artistic sense, that's a tough one. I'd say it's avant-garde and very eclectic. In other words, it's weird and all over the place. Yeah. Kind of thinking about that strange-looking painting in the art room. Well, it's one of Professor Quart's works, wasn't it? The statue in that photo was originally a statue of Lady Justice. Lady Justice! Professor Quart had planned on placing it on the judge's bench in the lecture hall. But the day before the mock trial, it broke while she was polishing it. She said she'd take it back to the art room and try to fix it somehow. So this is the statue in its proper state. You bet! Just look at that wild silhouette. Wow, it's so C-U-T-E. I don't get it. Do you have to be an artist to appreciate stuff like this? Athena, the Lady Justice that you put back together on that stage. Oh right, I didn't realize before because it was in pieces before it was smashed. Maybe it didn't look like Lady Justice, but more like it does in the photo. But what in the world was it doing on the stage? Interesting. Well, I think that about covers it. Okay, then how about watching the mock trial video with me? What do you say? Sure, sounds good to me. So how do you want to watch it? Hey, all classroom desks at this school have their own built-in computer, you know. Wow, this place is definitely a lot cushier than I thought. I know you guys are in a hurry, so I'll just fast forward to the important parts. Let's start with the professor's pre-trial speech. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. Oh, that sounds like Professor Means. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. Is the camera like this the whole time? Yeah, it's in a fixed position in front of the stage. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come. How come teacher speeches always make me so sleepy? Let's just skip to the end of his speech. Now, let the mock trial begin. Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Judy so large in this show? Looks to me like she cut right in front of the camera. Juniper was also in charge of the audio. Even though she was already playing a part in the mock trial itself, she had to do it to keep the script details secret. She was all over the place that day. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Oh, so this is what the lecture hall looks like. Looks like there's a judge bench back by the screen and a witness stand up front. What about those balconies with the professors' names on them? Those are the faculty seats. Professor Means and Professor Court were in charge of scoring the mock trial. Okay, let's fast forward this a bit. And that's why the defendant is definitely guilty! Ah, that was me, could you tell? Objection! A frail co-ed used her bare hands to stab her professor with an arrow. I don't think so. You read that line in the mock trial, Apollo, but you made it sound kind of weird. Cut me some slack. It was my first time reading that script. I think Juniper is going to speak next. I didn't do it. I had suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. It's true I shouted you're a goner, but I didn't mean it. Wow, what an emotional performance. She'd put a real actress to shame. Wait, could you go back and play that scene again? You really think that's necessary? Yeah, because she says you're a goner.
Mm-hmm.
She's practicing for the... I didn't do it. I suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. It's true that I shouted you're a goner. Stop, did you hear that? I think you're onto something. Let's play the last part again. I don't follow. What are you guys so excited about? I think this piece of evidence should explain it. Have to show Robin a piece of evidence that links the line we just heard to the case. Oh, whoops, I went too far.
Take that!
I'm sure you remember this. It contains a female voice shouting a violent threat. I'll play it for you. The voices and performance do sound similar, but I can't believe this is happening. It's just a possibility, but if the voice on this tape is really a recording, one made from the mock trial video, then that means this evidence was fabricated.
And wasn't it given in the box?
Oh, I think so. They didn't get to do a voice print analysis in time for court today. That's why the gender of the voice became so important. And if the real killer had foreseen that gender would become key in today's trial, he would have tried to deflect attention away from himself by making the suspect female. So basically, the only one with something to gain from doing this is our sole male suspect.
And the male teacher.
Yes. Wait a second. No way! Professor Means' credo is the end justifies the means, so it makes perfect sense that a student who took those words to heart would fabricate evidence. We need to get that tape analyzed as soon as possible. Allow me to assist you with that. Oh dear. Oh, okay, good, it's Clevier. Professor Gavin, at least make some kind of noise so we know you're there. It's go big or go home with Rockstar Entrances, Fraulein. Timing is everything. Let me make a copy of that tape right now, and I'll get you the results as soon as I can. I trust that would be all right? Very much so, thanks. I thought it was going to be the teacher confiscating it.
But we did some video or some voice sound stuff with him before, remember?
Yeah. I actually enjoyed that. That was fun to
What
do
was
in that
his name?
case.
Darian?
Darian, yeah. Darian something. Well, Athena, it's almost sundown. Isn't it about time we head over to the detention center? I think Junie will agree that this is something that could prove her innocence, but will her heart really be open to accepting it? She had to have known this was what I'd find. And that about covers the main gist of our investigation. I see, very interesting. You've been quite the busy beaver today. Thank you for all your hard work, Athena. Well, my time's about up, and it will be getting dark soon, so... Junie, you must be tired after being on your feet all day. You should go home and... No, wait, you have to listen to me. I don't want to hear anymore. I know what you're going to say, Athena. Junie, you promised. We're going to discover the truth behind this murder mystery, and we're going to bring you solid evidence. If we succeed in doing that, I want you to promise that you'll accept it, Junie, no matter how hard it is to hear. Okay, but only if it's the real truth. So please just listen to what I have to say. Once you've heard me out, I'll let you decide what to do. The voice in this recording has been proven to be yours, Junie. And in the mock trial video, we can hear you reading your line from the script. We're having both of them analyzed now, but from what I can tell, the voices are the same. And the only one who'd benefit from faking the voice recording would be Hugh. Sure. Wait, I haven't paused. Alright, that was a short thing, but here we go. But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, Hugh confessed in order to protect me. That may sound strange, but his confession is a ploy to make himself look less suspicious. In other words, he was just pretending to protect you. Besides, his confession came after you and Robin had already confessed. If he hadn't confessed right then as well, wouldn't that have seemed a little suspicious? Say what you will, Athena, but none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. Uh-oh! Wait, Athena? My bracelet reacted just now. It did? But why? Junie, can you look me in the eye and repeat what you just said? Oh, none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble.
It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm sure of it. She's lying. Alright, let's proceed. I don't think it's him being a gifted student that's weird.
It's causing trouble, I think is what it is.
I don't know if...
Was her heart pounding at her? Was it always moving?
That's the thing. I didn't even check to see if it was always moving. I gotta check it again. Nope.
Okay, so I think her heart, it's supposed to be like her heart's pounding.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think to look at the clothing.
I didn't either. But oh, she's deep, breathing deep or something.
Yep, there we go.
Gotcha!
Juniper, you started coughing when you're under stress. You can't hide it from me no matter how hard you try. When you said it never causes trouble, a cough escaped and made your scarf flutter. As for why you were stressed, it's because you were lying. I feel so bad for this girl. She's always under so much stress.
Yeah.
Junie, you're trying to hide Hugh's connection to this case, aren't you? And I believe that also ties into a secret about yourself. A secret about me? I don't understand. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. What? Why? Juniper's not all sunshine and rainbows like you think she is. Ah! He ended their friendship after he found out about Junie's secret, which means he must have felt betrayed by Junie, making her... the snitch? Maybe she's a snitch. You Professor Court's snitch, weren't you? There's a rumor going around that one of the students here is a snitch. I hear they're watching everything we do and reporting it. And while fulfilling that role, you learn something about Hugh you'd rather forget. I don't know what you're talking about. Junie, please, stop hiding things from me. I hate having to force things out of you like this. Looks like we're going to have to do this the hard way. Time to review the evidence and see if I can't prove my hypothesis. I must have something that proves Junie's the snitch and Hugh's connection to the case. Let's see. Hmm. Maybe it's this?
Take that!
I'm relieved to see you're coming around. Nope, it's not. You see, I wasn't trying to hide anything. Juniper's one cool customer, Athena. Wait, I don't think that was the right piece of evidence. Whatever you show me won't change the fact that I've already told you all I know. To prove that Junie's the snitch.
Oh, let's see. She was gonna meet with Junie.
You need to speak with Hugh O'Connor. Meet with Hugh about that important...
About that report yesterday, but maybe the report is her snitching, not a report he wrote.
Yeah.
Take that!
I mean, think about that. Right here in Professor Court's planner, it says routine report. I believe this is meant to mean when the snitch would report in to Professor Court. I also believe Professor Court planned to meet with Hugh in private based on the snitch's info. And from their meeting, Hugh must have put two and two together and figured out your secret. So you see, it all makes sense only if you're the snitch, Junie. Aw. Forgive me. Forgive me, Athena. I've been lying to you this whole time. The truth is, I suspected Hugh from the start. Oh, you did? Now this is surprising. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. I've talked about friendship so much, but I've been a terrible friend. Juniper, I don't have that special kind of hearing that Athena does, but I don't need it to sense the pain you're feeling inside. And its intensity is directly proportional to how you feel about your friend. Am I right? Apollo, please, Junie, just tell me why you suspect Hugh. I have a feeling that'll be the key to getting to the bottom of this whole case. So is it really not? Well, we'll see if there's more twists.
I mean, it seems like these kids we're all taking the fall for each other.
Yeah, but sometimes it tries to make it seem like it's somebody else, and then there's a twist at the end. But it also doesn't seem as if the Professor Means is doing anything to sabotage the case as of yet, so we'll see. What exactly was your role as class snitch? Professor Court had told me how Academy alumni had strayed from the path of justice. The dark age of the law, huh? She didn't want any more of our students going astray like that, but few others at the Academy shared her view. I thought her ideas were beautiful, though sad and unrealistic. Well, okay. She asked you to be her eyes and ears, didn't she? I used to report to her once a month about any wrongdoings I'd seen or heard about. And that report session in her planner, the one from October 22nd, was a part of that. Yes, that's when I reported Hugh to Professor Court. She snitched on her own friend. I had accidentally overheard Hugh talking. What did you hear? He was talking to someone on the phone. I think it was one of his parents. What were they talking about? Something about having paid money for good test scores. Whoa. I only overheard him talking, so I never did find out who the money was going to. What? That's bribery! Hugh was buying his way through school, and if that's the case, then that evidence that always seemed out of place might actually be about his secret. The out-of-place evidence. Let's see. You're a goner. Might be it.
Take that!
Janie, I was thinking that this might have something to do with the bribery. I'm not sure I see what you mean. Oh, never mind. He was buying his way through school, and if that's the case, then that evidence that always seemed out of place might actually be about his secret. What evidence seemed out of place? Was it the bird fragments of the Governor's banner?
What about the thing that's torn out of the book? With Hugh written on it. It was on stage and not in her office.
Take that!
It's true. Ah, we found this while we were investigating the stage. It's got Hugh's name on it. I didn't know what the number meant at the time, but now that I'm hearing about bribes, it must mean that a bribe of 120 grand was to be placed in October.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, what's more, take a look at this mark. That same mark is on the page of Professor Court's planner. Hey, you're right.
The sword-looking thing.
Yeah. Wait. But why would Professor Court have that kind of information in her planner? You don't really think the person who was taking the bribe money was... It's just a possibility at this point, but it may indeed have been Professor Court. But maybe it was Professor Means. And maybe that's where it comes in. But... That is impossible. She'd be the last person I'd ever suspect of accepting bribes. Well, he's not trying to pin it on her, so... Like I said, it's just a possibility, but a rather good one. Maybe the private talk had to do with the possibility of the bribery being exposed. See, so in my head, I'm thinking, what if the bribe was to him and she confronted him about it and then did away with her? But you'd almost think that he would just keep silent.
Like, oh yeah, that'd be totally her. But he's always like the ends, or the means justify the ends.
Or the ends justify the means.
Yeah, and she was just very professional the whole time.
Yeah.
So maybe just he would think that they wouldn't look into her because it just seems absurd.
Yeah. And what started out as a little argument soon got out of hand. It's not your fault, Junie. Anybody would have suspected Hugh if they knew what you knew. No, I don't believe that alone would have driven him to murder. There's another reason why I suspected Hugh. You've got to be kidding me. There's another reason? Okay, I'm very curious about this. I saw Hugh around 7 p.m. the day before the mock trial. Oh, so she's finally ready to talk about that. When I saw him, his... Oh, Thena. Junie, are you alright? Just try to relax and tell me what happened.
Never wanted to see what I did, but I'll have to live with it, won't I? In that hallway, Hugh's hands... His hands were dripping with blood.
But why did he look so funny?
Yeah, he was like in some kind of zombie trance.
Maybe he actually found her and was like...
Freaking out. Yeah. That seems too on the nose. I'm thinking our suspicions about the professor are correct. What am I going to do? Deep down, I know Hugh can't be the killer, but my mind keeps telling me he is, no matter how hard I try to convince myself he isn't.
Maybe the bribe was 120 grand. She found out about it, and this teacher killed her, and made him move her. Because she's like, I don't get the 120 grand. You have to, like, stage this.
Oh. So not only was he the one getting the bribe, but now Hugh is an accomplice of sorts, but an unwilling.
Yeah. That's not good.
It makes so much sense. I have to think so. If it's just Hugh, I would be shocked. But, like, she's literally like, I know he can't be. He's supposed to be. Oh, what am I going to do? Hugh, I can't take this anymore, Athena. So she hid the fact that she had seen Hugh, and said she went home at 6 because she wanted to avoid talking about what she saw. Junie, it must have been terrible holding all of that in. But it's going to be okay. I'll get to the bottom of this. And that's my promise from one good friend to another. I'll be defending Juniper tomorrow. If that's okay with you, Professor Means. My main concern is whether you can defeat that prosecutor. But I won't try to stop you. I will be watching from the gallery. And shall look forward to seeing what sort of results your methods can produce. Good luck tomorrow. Now, if you would excuse me. Good. Don't worry, we already know that the prosecution's key piece of evidence is fake. And thanks to you, we figured out the motive, too. Let's give this our best shot, Athena. Let tomorrow be the day Juniper walks free. I wouldn't have it any other way. We should be all ready now. What could possibly go wrong this time? Oh, God! Still, there's this strange, uneasy feeling I can't shake. I'd better be imagining it. Oh, the foreshadowing. Let's go into the trial.
Sure.
They haven't been playing for that long. I'm very intrigued, even though I think we mostly have it figured out. But like the Governor's banner, I don't know why it was burned. Like, there's little details that I want to know about. Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours. Guten Morgen, you two. Is that how you pronounce it? Good morning. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. Before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back, and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same.
So it was a framing method.
Yep. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they've found signs of overdubbing. Oh, overdubbing! But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Who's there? Wait.
The box girl? Miriam?
I think so. Did you see who it was?
Miriam?
I think so, yeah, because Miriam's the one who found it. No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw our hand. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Box Girl were listening in, too. I will make sure they don't make a run for it. This is my final gift to you. Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. And look at Prosecutor Gavin being Defendant Gavin, or Defense Attorney Gavin, helping us out. Yeah. Time for a mini Court of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine. Alright. What could go wrong, she says. Now I wouldn't. Black Quill, you're going down. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I actually like that. Prosecution is ready as well. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood? Your baldness, Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. Pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case.
turn your face and then throws knives like that. Pretty...
The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failures as we speak. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. But if that's the case, then what will we... The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from art room to stage. And I mean to prove it here this day. And it's just like Detective Fulbright said. But what else does he have up his sleeve? My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the bloodstain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. From there, it was dropped down to the maintenance area below. And though there was nary a scratch to the body aside from the fatal wound, that too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage. That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body-moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way. Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either. Why, you... Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth. Who's the witness? Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, it'd be funny if you saw Professor Mean's creepy smile just kind of like edge from the off screen to the right to like the center, and he's just waving at us. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation? Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Themis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth, so I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What's he up to now? The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area, but I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client? The Emperor Snappy come back when I need one. He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible. To protect the students who had to climb up high when setting up the stage, a mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse. Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they used it? Oh, there is plenty wrong. There is but one man in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body. Arrgh. It sucks being the last to know everything. See, she still got the pirate case on her. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat. If the only mat of that thickness was where the body is assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm going to turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. Wow. Hold it, hold it, hold it right there! What? I was just getting to the important part. Eager to unsheathe your blade, Sykes Dono. Your heavy breath heaves to where I stand. Tisk, how rude. A human's breath doesn't travel anywhere near that far. So the only issue is distance? You're not denying that you're a heavy breather? I'm just saying that scientific studies have proven that it's not. Hang in there, Athena. No matter how many insults they hurl, it won't affect the judge's opinion of you. What about my own self-esteem? Yeah, let's get back to what happened before the mock trial.
Hold it!
Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with this case. That is where you are wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a 3-story fall. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body. Ugh. If we win this one, I promise to donate another thick mat to the Academy. Now show me how to show you the truth. You'll have my full cooperation.
Hold it!
Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said? I was between the stage and maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He's sticking to his guns. The issue here is where he was standing when he says he saw Junie, but nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper. Oh, and before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That is not an issue. So I wonder if we're going to have to go back to that statement, since she said, I need evidence, but I need to dig deeper. So we may have to come back to statement 3. She was heading toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. You shouldn't assume anything. It only shows that you're not positive. Such wild momentum. Perhaps you are a raging bull in your past life. Tisk, don't compare me to some stupid farm animal. Oi, Justice Dono. Our research in this Juniper was simply putting the mat away. In that case, where would she be taking it? Oh, to the storehouse, over in the maintenance area. Precisely. Therefore, there is not wrong with the witness's judgment in this matter. It is your wild charges that are the issue here, but I cannot help. But I cannot help if you keep seeing red. He's going to get a face full of Justice Apollo style if he keeps that up. Anyway, I saw her heading toward me.
Hold it!
Then it's entirely possible that someone else moved the body, correct?
Objection!
Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. I also know that you, Hugh O'Connor, were one of the participants. Mr. Confidence sure goes all out when he tells the truth. Well, I don't think he meant for any of that to be misleading, but it doesn't make it factual. Careful now, Athena. A genius like Hugh could be leading you right into a trap. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, but all I can do is charge forward with both eyes opened. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let me press on this again. Mr. Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said? I was between the stage and maintenance area. Sticking to his guns. The issue here is where Hugh was standing when he says he was Judy.
Okay, girls just some pictures.
Yeah, I think what they're saying is we need to dig into our evidence. And maybe it's this? Because technically, he's supposed to be in the prosecution, or the defense, right?
Yeah, and he says he sees her. Or just because of that.
Yeah.
Objection!
Darn. That's right. Wait. Members of the court, please look at this. That's right, there's no need to explain anything. This piece of evidence says it all. All that it says to me is you're completely wrong. Okay. Also, we don't know about the Lady Justice, so that's going to be interesting.
What's that?
Lady Justice?
No, the picture. Not that one. The picture looks like the art pieces.
Oh, this one?
Yes. Is he saying he's out here?
Well, no, because this is during the mock trial, right? Like, the mock trial was 2 o'clock.
This is at night.
Yeah, because... So here, I'm not actually going to present anything, but here it says mock trial begins at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So the mock trial happened, and then they were getting stuff ready in the evening.
Okay. But you're trying to contradict when he was standing.
Yeah.
When he says that he saw her pulling that mat out, right?
Right.
So.
Like, maybe if we see the mat in the picture. Well, let's see. Also, the burned fragments, it must have been burned after 6:01, since it's good there. Trying to think.
The ball cart from the storehouse was being used to move the body.
That's what it shares from the mock trial script. And that's the thing, too. Hugh O'Connor does archery, and the mock script is that it's made to look like he did it, but he didn't.
The stage of the movie. I see that stage. Why didn't he have time to say
I don't know. Well, maybe because he had to participate in the mock trial.
Wouldn't she have to too?
Yeah, but she's not necessarily testifying the whole time.
Hold it!
It is entirely possible that someone else moved the body, correct? Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. Ergo, the only probable suspects were the 3 trial participants. Yeah, I know, thank you for stating the obvious, and Hugh O'Connor was one of the participants. Maybe it's the next statement? She was heading toward me, so I assumed it was on her way to the main scene.
He's sitting in the defense area, or is he in the prosecution?
He's in the defense area.
We already presented this, so it can't be the next.
Well, no, we presented it for the 3rd one. So maybe it's this?
Objection!
Nope, music's still going. That statement contradicts the evidence. It does, and how would that be? Just look at it! It's one huge contradiction! See, the defense is simply making another baseless assertion. Eek! Okay, let's consult. I'm gonna consult. You mind letting your slightly senior partner help out a little now? If you insist, actually I could really use the help. Well, I find this statement suspicious. You should find the evidence if you take a good... You should find the answer if you take a good look at the evidence. Thanks, Apollo. I could get used to this more humble version of you, you know. Let's see. So it is that one. You already did that.
You idiots.
Probably. I just don't know how we're idiots yet. We already did this.
Right. What's this?
It's the mock trial script.
Okay. What's the next page? Oh, she couldn't have been dragging it on the map. Well,
Because it doesn't go with the script.
but was she trying to put... Right. That's it, because he said she was going to the storeroom, right? Pulling the cart, but a box cart was used.
Yeah, basically it's supposed to be that...
I think it's that.
Objection!
No, the music continues. Let's press again, just to see... Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were... I was between the stage and maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He's taking those guns. Issue here is where he was standing when he says he saw Jane. Nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper.
That one. Listen to
This one? You just said this one when I looked at it!
It's in color. The next one up. Yes.
Oh, this one again?
What is the description?
The last two of Miriam's photos. They show the students setting up the stage's backdrop on the night of the murder.
Alright, there's two photos, so let's look at. So that looks like that's Hugh Dragon over there, isn't it? Or is that somebody else?
I think it's somebody else, because that's not even his clothing. Like, he had blue... I think it's just some guy. But yeah, I actually see the resemblance.
Okay, so there's nothing here to help us, right?
Right.
And it's the stage, though, right? Alright, what's the other photo?
You just saw him. These are the two photos. I think it's the banner with the burnt fragments.
Would it be that photo to show that the art room it goes right behind the stage?
Objection!
What?
Yes, that she would drop behind there.
So you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area. Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here? Why, yes. In fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest. Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now, let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from that vantage point, The witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop. Oh my, but the screen would have been completely in the way. That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point. Youch. Order, order, Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to the court? The screen, right, it must have slipped my mind.
Sweating.
What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have.
Mouth breathers?
And the genius level lapses of memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal everyday brain fart already?
What can I say when you record it that he is?
A pompous little boy? Will the witness now please restate what he remembers, minus the lapses of memory? Yeah, that's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen. You are testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind the court, the back of the stage is not visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. Ouch. Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
Alright, Golden Boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth would be like a weight lifted from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that Golden Boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage. You know what confused me? When I was looking at that, because of the ground, how it is, I thought this was indoors. Like, I think the whole thing was just throwing me off, because I kept thinking, but the stage is outdoors, and yeah.
Objection!
But then the screen would have blocked his view. On the ground, yes, but his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think something on the other side of the screen, something high enough to see the stage?
He's in the truck.
No way, this crane right here? But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised. I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. Arr. What's all this about a promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him? What's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds. Oh my god, that's exactly what you said! What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane? The witness, I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane. Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site the previous day, too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yep. Yep, as the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? This is ridiculous! How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is as ridiculous as the witness maintains. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light. That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that? The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. I wonder, is it the thing on his neck?
I don't think he has it on. Because it's covered.
Yeah.
So you have to get him to take it off. What is it?
You can identify the person this by examining. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck. Why, yes, you can see it right there, but then are you saying you mean to... Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar, but that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off.
Whoa.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck. Guess I have no choice.
This is an art necklace, right?
Oh my. So, where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Well, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? Yeah, you are one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane? Oh, I'm about that. You see, I'm a genius, so you know. Let us dispense with this inane charade, Golden Boy. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't. High school seniors are 19 at most, thus they failed to complete their requirements. But that does not apply to you, does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't, please. Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Oh my god. Wait, come again? Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. It's all right there. Youch. 25? You mean he's older than me? 25-year-old high school graduate, senior. I did not...
He's not a genius, he's just a regular adult. Like...
Yeah. Yeah, a 7-year break. 7 years. I have just one thing to say. There's only 2 kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breathers take, and the genius kind people like me take. But a genius will quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Hey, even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row. Only Hugh could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in that crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me? Ugh. As long as the mat was used to move the body, Junie's going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Oh. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Sykes. I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture has never stopped us before. Interesting. Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane to...
move the body.
See, here's the thing. I thought he was moving the screen because there's the backdrop, right?
At the time of the murder, though, why was he, if he was supposed to be in the trial, why was he in that crane?
But this was the night before.
I'm not asking about the night before.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script, too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. Are you sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I tend to say no more on the matter, save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time, or is this another trap? Here, watch this. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand, that's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the cord look at this. Oh? Please tell me that's a ketchup stain. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. So how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to this case.
Stab death. We kind of need to visit upon that.
Yeah, we do. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool. I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Mock trial instead. Arrgh. And here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Now that the defense's sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. The body was dropped out of a 3rd-floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See, I've been paying attention. Well done, your baldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging the mat, ergo it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you were on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But, oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane? Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it. And if you do not, it's time for a verdict. Isn't that correct, Revolvers? No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right? Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case. Evidence. Tisk, you don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like...
The hands were tied, so maybe they lowered it by putting it on the road.
Yeah, it's very possible. Or... I think I know how. Or maybe it could, after all. There is a way to zip it through the armor of the stage. The banner that has the blood on it. Someone could have easily used that thing. Oh, yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us. All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. It's got the, I mean, I guess it could be this, but I see the, let's see the stage in the arc room by a wire, so I think it's this one, because that's the blood on it. The key here is the thing that ties the arc room and the stage together. Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackquill. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the arc room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel in the school banner from the arc room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Objection! Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire. The body surely would have fallen, yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma. Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that. I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried? Well, go on, please explain. The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat. I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying? I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the Arclean pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and banner had not at all to do with this case. Oh, haha, the bloodstained pottery, I remember that. It doesn't look good. We'll be back to the math theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time in the circus act. My wire theory is true, then that blood in the pottery must not have been the victim's blood, or blood at all.
Wow.
I think that's what it is. At first we thought it was red glaze, but it turned out to be blood. What if we go back to the time when it was just red glaze by all accounts?
Objection!
But the police have clearly identified it as blood. You can't change fact to fiction, Miss Sykes, let alone travel back in time. Well, then it's not the victim's blood. Well, we can say it, but that's the only other thing, so we know that. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from? Shame on you, Sykes Dono. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Wow.
No, they didn't test it.
Fulbright! Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Oh, she's got her troll game on. Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can. Your baldness, I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course, it shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. Or history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please, let it be someone else's. It seems the blood was not from the victim. Well, what? Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with the case reveals
It's you.
that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Score. I'm sorry, I find it so funny that Fulbright didn't even say a word. It was just an animation. Don't worry, Junie, just try to relax. Hugh's his hands were dripping with blood. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand has suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. I'm very curious how. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Unless it's someone that can recommend
Objection!
Could be that? There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykes Dono, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Hehehe, fine, whatever. Wow, how much dirt does he have on you? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. Ooh, what the heck? It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. The Scuttlebutts, but didn't the prosecution already claim that this envelope is the one that contained her script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word, talk about the world's most painful paper cut. Indeed, you can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Oh, okay. Yikes, Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script, and paid for his foolishness. Ouch. This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena, the wound isn't that deep. We've still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer? Heh, don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out, heh, and you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down that wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
Aren't they broke?
They're broken. Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together. Oh, so the body would have collided with the statues. Yeah! What if they did collide? Wait, that's it. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, now we know how they're broken. That would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room. Oh, now that you mention it, you and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct? Interesting. How very interesting. But may I just ask one question? When was it that you heard said sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when, Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being removed, that would place it during the mock trial. Oof. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me and our case killed. The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. This has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundation of this case. Both sides still lack incontrovertible evidence. So should we also not treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion? Good point. Prosecutor Blackquill is on our side. I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body.
Is that the same way on to cut everybody up?
I think
This is really wrong with this thing.
there is. Well, he was a prisoner with a record, and he... Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury.
Purity charge.
Yeah. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes, we've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with?
Is he protecting somebody again?
Yeah, I'm very curious about this. Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine that this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now, at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner. Indeed. That much I concede, Sykes Dono. The body was moved as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then? If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it's an entirely different story.
Because they were all in there, right?
I think so. Right, all 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis. How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. And I think this is where Professor Means comes in, because he's up there, supposedly, but he would be able to probably move around without being noticed. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Oh no, how could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junie so large in this shot? Juniper was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body. It was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio. No! Why, yes, I see, that does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwood was on our side, at least on this issue. The twisted samurai strikes again. It's twisted? It's more like dirty rotten. Your baldness, it is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case, but the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes? Apollo, what are we going to do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank, too. Poor Judy. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Objection. Well, I object to... Heh. Heh heh heh. Ha 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 ha. Stop right there. All ears to me. It's time you heard about something something Mr. O'Connor. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. The rare genius of Hugh O'Connor.
He meditated and doesn't do it.
Yeah, because he didn't do it. Perfect crime? Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say. Mr. O'Connor. You already confessed yesterday, then earlier today recanted your confession. As if you mouth-breathers could comprehend my genius. The end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. Ah. There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. Let's listen to the testimony and then we'll call it quits. Okay? You won't believe this, but I used a body double. This wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all? No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird, especially the whole thing about a body double. Well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution? Your baldness, summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark raving mad. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you, it's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimony like this? Widget's not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. How about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. Your better judgment? I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine, yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections? Prosecutor Blackwell? What the? The prosecutor said, rubbish! We will be out on a stroll, then left with Detective Fulbright. How does he get away with stuff like that? Then I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. All right, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session. So the next...
Murder! There's no murder out.
Yeah, but he's with Fulbright. He'll take care of him.
He'll murder Fulbright.
No, Fulbright would just put his little pointer fingers together and go, don't kill me, please. Okay, so next time we'll use Widget. So there's probably something going on with this that... Body double. I'm very curious where this leads. But it's very clear he's not the killer.
I don't think any of the three kids are.
No. It's got to be, and there's no other person introduced to us, so it's got to be Professor Means. I think it's exactly what we're thinking about. There's details we need to figure out.
Or it could be all crazy, and it could be like Professor Court's husband, estranged husband, who's mad. I'm kidding. I'm just making this up.
Or the other Gavin finally became a murderer.
Oh, like identical brothers.
Yeah.
And look-alike brothers are out killing.
Yeah. Because let's face it, it's not Scuttlebutt, it's not Gavin.
I don't know, Scuttlebutt's pretty freaking violent to load razor blades or whatever in her script to...
Yeah, but she's so cute and being so weird in the box. Like, her box sweats, so I refuse to believe she's a murderer.
She's something wrong with her, too.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Okay.